Okay, is everybody still breathing? It's like, oh my God. Okay, so I'm doing the numerology and the astrology for November 5th, 2020. However, it is November 4th, 2020. And of course, we are still waiting for the results. So officially, as I am doing this video, it is 11:27 Pacific time, and we still don't have an outcome on this. Not like I was surprised. I warned everybody about this, but whew, I mean, even as close as this is, it's like, whoa, that's like shocking. It's just shocking. So let's all breathe. Let's all breathe together. No matter what is the outcome, we all are going to have to move forward with what is. And, you know, as I said in my my response yesterday, which was my quote, I should say, was that, you know, anger is a response to truth. A response to truth, not the response to truth, but a response to truth. So anyway, we're going to get anger coming at us for sure, you know, one way or the other. I don't think anybody really got how incredibly, scarily divided the country is, and I'm just not sure how we're going to figure out how to bring this back together. It's not going to happen quickly, and it's like I tried to tell everybody, it's like this astrology is really, really bad, and it can take decades. I mean, like where we are is in this Pluto return, and a Pluto return, you know, is this whole thing where Pluto comes full circle and comes back around approximately at this time period. And ours is not even hit officially yet. That's what I'm so shocked about with everybody. That like, okay, we're feeling Pluto for sure, but we actually feel Pluto in 2022, 2023, which means this can get worse. I mean, like, really? This can get worse? And I'm a Leo. I am an optimist. I am a super positive, believe and have faith in humanity person. And even this is shocking. I mean, it's just shocking on a lot of levels. So today, I started doing research on the fall of the Roman Empire because my father said to me in 1978, notice that, 1978, he said, take a good look. You're watching the fall of the Roman Empire, and it's going to be the United States. And it'll take 50 years. And notice, we're right around that 50-year mark. Isn't that interesting that he said that in 1978? My father was brilliant. He was an amazing man. It was like having a father was like James Bond. It was completely insane. And I think you might be interested in taking a look at the causes, the perceived causes historically of the fall of the Roman Empire, and notice this really scary, eerie familiarity to those causes and where we are. And I was going to drag everybody through that historically today, but I think everybody is too raw for that, so I'm not gonna go there at the moment. So we're going to try and do this numerology and astrology for the 5th, which is going to be Thursday. And we're going to see how this is going to go. If you add all those numbers together, you get the number 11/2. If you add the 1 and the 1 and the 11 together, you can get a 2. Now, you've heard me say this, that I sometimes take it to the 11 and transcendence, and sometimes I take it to the 2 and the negative mind. And I feel like no matter where we are, there's a 2. There's a negative mind, critical mind thing going on here for everybody. So no matter which way it goes, you know, everybody is kind of in awe and shock and dismay and fear and all sorts of things. So while I would love to move it to that transcendent 11, I think we really need to look at the 2. I think we need to look at the critical mind, the negative mind, the negativity, the hate, the anger, the rage, the resentment, the frustration, the aggravation, the despondency, the depression. I think we need to go there for a minute. So, from my book, Integral Numerology, that many of you have, because if you get a session with me, you automatically get a book of the Integral Numerology. It's one of my perks that I put out there. And at this point, if you want to email me, because I think it's so critical for everybody to understand things a little bit more, if you want to email me and say, please, 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 Suzanne, send me a PDF copy of the Integral Numerology book, I will do it. It'll be my little election gift, to everybody. So, as a result, you can email me at Suzanne@SuzWagner.com. So that's SUZANNE at SUZWAGNER.com. And I will be more than happy to send it to you through email. And I'm not trying to hook you in any way. I won't put you in my database or anything like that. I'll just, send you the book. I'm just trying to be nice and helpful, because I know everybody gets so overloaded with emails and this and that. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give a gift. Okay, so from my book, I say that the energy of the number 2 is the experience of duality and polarity. Dun, dun. When we connect and understand the self, the number 1, then we are ready to connect opposite perspectives. Step out of any limited awareness and move towards understanding others and the life from a very different way. The number 2 is identified with the intention to merge with others and to grow beyond our own experiences and limited reference points. We desire to find understanding. We seek the skills that are important for the evolution of the soul. We seek through knowledge and information to be able to understand the world in which we find ourselves. There is a long road ahead. The number 2 wants to be able to define the reality in which we exist. The challenge to find the answers and to uncover the truth. To find truth, we cannot be blind to the information that is present in any situation. The number 2 wants to analyze and find some semblance of consistency. Positive characteristics of the number 2 are a willing curiosity, problem-solving capacity, energetic drive, searching for deeper meaning, and expanding of the mind. The negative characteristics of this number are criticalness, judgmental projection, overly analytical reasoning, and desiring to negate others. So, I just want to point out here that the mind is a really tricky thing. So when we're unified around the one or the wholeness of the self, at the moment we take a position, we pull ourselves out of that. And then what happens is, because the universe has to have balance, you will get people pulling in that opposite position. And if that was not so incredibly obvious right now, that it's just incredible. So what's so tricky is that anytime, like literally anytime you take a position and you go, this is wrong, or this is da-da-da, or this is, like instantly you are in duality. And the thing about enlightenment is, which is the 11, is that once you transcend all that dualistic mind and you step beyond critical mind into higher mind, and you step beyond ownership heart into a big heart, universal heart, then all of this duality kind of starts to go away. But I think it's so important right now for everybody to start to understand what you're positioned around. I mean, we deal with a society that is caught so much in its ego and pride and identity. And I think we just have a comeuppance happening. I think we have, the universe is going to slap us around and point out to us that we're not superior and we're not better than. And, that's probably what we need, is to kind of recognize that, we have our own challenges and we have our own problems, and we need to figure out how to work together rather than constantly tearing each other down and tearing each other apart. And so we're going to be learning that for the next few decades. So, astrology today. The moon will be in the emotional sign of Cancer as it attempts to give comfort and connection to everyone. But There is a moon square to Venus in Libra and Mars in Aries. It becomes shocking how much conflict there is in our country and what the choices are that lie in front of us. No matter what, it's going to be excruciating and painful. We all need to look deeply into the actions and choices that motivate us and others. And while it's hard to understand at times, it is important to look, really look, because misunderstandings are going to be high and problems are not going to go away quickly. My biggest concern in this whole process is people who are of mixed descent, and I don't mean Irish French, I mean like African American Indian or Chinese Vietnamese or American Japanese, or my concern is them, and I want everybody to be really aware of that this energy that's out there that is festering is so good at blaming and pointing to others and telling people that they don't deserve to live here or be here or whatever. And we're going to have to stand up. I mean, you're going to have to stand up for people. I mean, and I know it's scary and I know it's hard, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to really have to do it. And you're going to have to really pick your battles. And you're going to have to recognize that there are people that want to pick fights, and they're going to be really strong about it from this point on. And what do you do? I mean, what do you do? How do you disarm a volatile situation peacefully? I think that maybe we all should start to look at that. Like, what could be some of the tools that would help with that? What kinds of conversations, what kind of wording, what kind of languaging, what kind of body stance could we actually be doing that would be inclusive rather than exclusive? Okay, my quote for today. In such moments and times, there will be no clarity and no rhymes. Life goes on and hard times come. What comes next determines what we become. We cannot see past our own bubble. That limitation is what gets us in trouble. I pray for a world of peace and light. I hope for a tomorrow that can begin tonight. All right, my blog for today. I tried to warn everyone that this was going to take a while, and here we are. I know we wanted a clear rebalance of blue, but the red is determined to bleed through the true. Our world is in a mess, and I must confess that I hoped for a country of clarity refined, not one so intentionally maligned. Regardless, I fear for what comes next. I see the signs, and I have read between the texts. A difficult time lies ahead, one that most will despise and dread. I had hoped we could manage to avoid the horror of a country broken and destroyed, but the fate of this moment is not mine to give, and it is also one that many will not outlive. Such moments cause great tremors in the divine. Angels pray as people intend to malign. I pray with those angels. I hope for a day when humanity decides and knows love is the way. Thanks, everyone.